In this video, I want to share with you how I deal with such big moments of doubts, feeling lost, confused, and I feel like nothing is working. I'm building our own business and on the way to entrepreneurship. Right now, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Now, I have two businesses that I'm building, one company with my mom, and for one, my own personal brand and my own business. And in entrepreneurship, there's always going to be times when you feel like nothing is working. But what I've realized is that as someone who had those times so much, every time that I kept going regardless, and every time that I kept doing this one thing, helped me get out of this state. And I want to share with you today what that is that helps me and that it doesn't right away make you feel like rainbows and sunshine, but it does help you get back to the baseline. Especially as an entrepreneur, you have all these plans to create all these amazing things and do all this throughout your day, but then you wake up a little bit later. You wake up not in a good mood. Your hair doesn't look that good. You go to your work lounge and the energy is off, or you forgot your like big AirPods and then the mood is off, and then you're sitting there and you're like thinking. So instead of actually working, you're wasting time, hours thinking in your head, oh my gosh, I should do this. Oh, how do I do this? Oh no, wait, should I do this or should I do that? And so you're spending time in your head instead of the actual work. And I realized that there's a common pattern that gets you so confused and so lost, which is being in the head. Instead of actually acting towards your goals, it's constantly in the head, which makes you stressed because you know that you're not acting and you know that action is going to get you to your goals. But then the more that you don't act, the more that you're in your head, the more that you get in your head, and the more that you don't act. And then by the time that you're like at 80% capacity of your head, you're like, oh my gosh, no, this is not even worth acting. I already missed all of my day. It's not even worth doing even one thing. And then you minimize the small action that will actually get you to your goal. I knew this before and I had this before. And right now what I'm struggling with is like making a way to streamline this. I have certain business goals in my mom's business and in my own business. For example, let's take my own business. I set a goal that I'm gonna do a live masterclass every single week, right? And I said, okay, let's do it. The first one that I did, I actually got people who bought my own consultation and a content audit. So I actually made money from that masterclass. But then week 2 happened and I started stressing. I started being like, no, my content isn't good, my masterclass isn't good, I have to change everything. I did it for 2 weeks and I stopped for 3. Right now it's going on 4th week, and right now action feels like trying to get a huge rock up the mountain instead of riding the wave when you actually already do it. Stress from one thing leads into stress into the other thing, like my mom's business and social media and all these things I have to do. And I'm looking at the list of all the things I have to do, and I'm like so overwhelmed. Like, how am I ever going to do this? And what I realize is that when you have a certain thing, it's very, very important to start with a minimum base, at least one, and kind of write out what is that one thing that you could do that will actually move the business forward? Not more research, not more planning, but will actually give you results. For me, that is posting. For example, we have a launch in 3 days and we need more clients. So what will directly affect that launch isn't looking for graphic designers to upgrade our branding or website, but that is stories and posts. And those are the things that I usually do not want to do the most. I'm like, I don't want to do branding, I don't want to do all these things, but it's like you literally need to. And the things that I realize that you don't want to do the most are the things that like you need to be doing. So I told myself, you know what, it's okay. And what's also I've learned is important is not to punish yourself. If you punish yourself when you wake up a little later, if you punish yourself when you are stressed and you're not sure and you're like going through this, you're going to feel a lot worse and you're not even going to want to do it. So you're going to have a longer time to bounce back and come back to baseline, which is why instead I understand and I see it as that's just part of the journey. And another thing that I think Alex Hermosi said is like, it's just statistically based. Like 35% bad days, 35% okay, 35% good days. It's just statistics. So how can you make a bad day be good? Because if you only work when you feel good, if you only do stuff when you feel okay, it's not gonna work. Which is why I'm still like, let's go. post carousel, and then you can actually cross it off your list and feel happy, like, let's go, we did it. And then post 3 posts. So actually doing the minimum thing is what's going to help a lot. And of course, meditation. I think meditation is a thing that really helps, especially when you have so much stress and overthinking and you're like, which path do I do? Do I do this path? Do I do this one? Do I create this? Do I do this? No, you feel like inside of you know what to do. It just needs to be streamlined. And this is why it's like with social media even more so, like which funnel, which way. So my plan right now is just to do the minimum and get through the day and start the next day tomorrow, but don't put all of my hopes on tomorrow's gonna be such an amazing day. No, how can you make today be a great day? How can you make today be a powerful day even though you don't feel like it? I feel like if you try to put in the work even though you don't feel like it or it's not the perfect setting, you're still gonna do a lot better than not. I'm documenting my journey and building an online business at 20. If you want to learn how and my mindset around it, I show you more on my page, and I'll see you later. Bye!